Hey boys and girls, it's Miss Geog here, Tuesday, April 14th for your second day of writing for this week. And just a reminder that we are doing writing on Monday and Tuesday. And so the rest of the week, you will be able to work on some of the other subjects, and then you can get caught up on Friday if there was anything that you were not able to finish. So for writing, our learning target for today is I can write a formal letter. And we're going to talk about the difference between a formal letter and a friendly letter, because yesterday's lesson you wrote a friendly letter, and today's lesson you're going to write a formal letter. What is a formal letter, you may be asking yourself? A formal letter is a letter written to someone that you don't know or you may not know very well. So formal letters can be used to persuade someone about a topic that you care a lot about. It can be written if you are trying to apply for a job and you want to introduce yourself to this person. It can be written to convince someone who's in charge to maybe change something or to listen to your opinion and make some decisions based on that. So right here, this little example says, Mr. Harris, please accept my application. So this person's applying maybe for a job or for a position on a school newspaper or the school broadcast, and they are writing to inform them about their desire to join whatever organization it is. So I want you to think, who could you write a formal letter to? Who are some people, some maybe adults in your life that you could write a formal letter to? And I can go ahead and think of one off the top of my head. You could write one to your upcoming fourth grade teacher, maybe introducing yourself to them, maybe some things that you like, maybe some things you want to work on in fourth grade. You could also write one to our principal, Mrs. Kane. And then when we went to the Capitol on our field trip, we met some very important people there. And you could think about, could you write to somebody in Congress and maybe convince them to change the recess time limit and things like that? So just think, there's lots of people that you could write a formal letter to because you have tons of stuff that you can say. So there's different parts of a formal letter. And it's written with more of a formal language than a casual language. So this means we're going to be speaking in proper grammar. We're going to make sure that we address them correctly with Mrs. or Mr. or maybe Principal Kane, however you want to use it. But you put your address in the top because they may want to write back to you. If you're reaching out to them with important information, they may want to write back to you. And so they need to know where can they send the letter. And then you also want to make sure that you include the date so they know when did you write this. So when they receive it, they know that they can read it and then write back in an amount of time that's respectful. And then you put the recipient's address. So who are you writing this letter to? So this one is addressed to Principal Lambert, Park Elementary School, 208 George Street, Scottsfield, Massachusetts. And then this is their zip code, 98567. And then you have your greeting, and you can use the word dear. So we're using formal language. We're not going to say hey. We're not going to say what's up. This is going to be more formal. So dear is a great option there. Dear Mrs. Lambert, I'm a third grade student in your school, and I'm writing to you because we need to have healthier school lunches. Obesity is becoming a huge problem in our country, and one way we can stop it is providing kids with healthy foods while they are in school. Also, when kids eat healthier, they can focus. This will help them to perform better in their classrooms. Please consider this request to make our cafeterias healthier. That is the body of the formal letter. This student has addressed himself to the principal, letting the principal know that he is a student, and he's explaining to the principal but that their school needs healthier lunch choices. And then he proceeds to explain why they need healthier lunch choices and how that will help. And then down here, I want you to pay attention. He has just a great closing sentence that says, please consider this request to make our cafeterias healthier. So we know with our opinion writing, you need to write a closing statement, a closing opinion statement, so your reader is reminded of what you're writing about. And then he uses the word sincerely. That is his closing. That is a very formal way to say goodbye. And then he put his first and last name because it is formal. So today, you are going to write a formal letter to Principal Kane and explain to her why recess is an important part of the day for kids. So pretend she's trying to take recess off the schedule for next year. What would you tell her to convince her that recess is important for kids? So you need to think of some good, strong reasons why it's important. What do you like about recess, and how are you going to convince her that it's an important part of the day for you? And so then you're going to refer back to the format of this, how it's set up, and you're going to put your address up here. And if you need to make one up, if your parents don't want you putting your real address on there for right now, that's fine. But then we're going to put the date, and then we're going to put Principal Kane. And we're going to put her address right there, which is at Mableton Elementary School. So Mableton Elementary School, 5220 Church Street Southwest, Mableton, Georgia, 30126. So this will be right here for you to refer. Then the greeting, and we talked about writing with formal vocabulary. So I think Dear Principal Kane is going to be the best way to include a greeting. And then your body paragraphs are going to be about why recess is important. Your closing is going to be sincerely. That is a polite way to end your letter. And then you will sign your name sincerely and then your name. So just like you did yesterday when you wrote a letter and took a picture of it and submitted it to your teacher, please do the same thing today, but just make sure you are writing in a formal way, including all of these different elements and explaining to Principal Kane why recess is important. If you have any questions, please reach out to your teacher or you can email me, and we look forward to reading those. Thanks so much, boys and girls.